All right, good afternoon. Welcome back here to Trader Minute. Great to have you aboard. I hope everyone has some fun Labor Day plans. Market will be closed on Monday, and we'll reopen here on Tuesday. We'll continue here with the challenge on Tuesday as well. Very interesting day here today in terms of the volumes. We kind of saw. This heavy volume, right? I mean, we saw some really heavy volume come in the first 2 hours today. And, this drop was led by tech. And we saw tech, just get sold across the board, from Apple to Amazon to Facebook to, you name it. The tech group all kind of went down together. And on this rebound, we didn't really see the tech group get bought up. But you take a look at these volumes, what they've done since. The volumes have just disappeared. And it really just looks like end of month selling, popped in early. Everyone said, all right, off for a long weekend, see ya, and skedaddled. And I know that's not the case for everyone and everything, but man, it sure looks like some of the bigger money decisions, really just saw the end of month sell that we almost always see in the last hour. Almost looked like it happened into the European close, more than waiting for the U.S. close. And, do we see some more action into the close? Probably, but, since then, volumes have just absolutely disappeared here. In general, for the market itself, no real change out there. In terms of the metrics, in terms of, anything that we're seeing, I don't think you can look at today's action and go, well, because of today's action, blah, 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 blah. I think that is a very difficult, difficult to say that today's action means a heck of a whole lot in terms of what's going to happen in the future. But there is one area that we are seeing absolutely tear it up again, and that is the U.S. dollar. And the U.S. dollar just continues to be the safety trade for a lot of fund managers. And, despite seeing gold and having gold going up and hitting new highs, we have the U.S. dollar hitting new highs. That is very unusual. To see bonds hitting new highs, gold hitting new highs, and the U.S. dollar hitting new highs all on the same week. So it tells me when we see something that unusual, it must be August. Because August is the month where we tend to see unusual stuff, and we are definitely seeing it here this month. So, that's kind of some of the stuff going on out there. Again, I don't read too much into a lot of the things that are happening, or probably more importantly, not happening out there today. Now, for the challenge, we have two positions on the board. There are no new signals on the board here today. But we have two positions, and I filled in the pricing just before I jumped on. We have Apple and Microsoft. We're down about 10% on Apple, down about 20% on Microsoft, as both stocks are trading lower here. Here today, they both got caught up this morning. Shortly after I got off video into that tech slide. It was kind of a two-stage slide. They're not anywhere close to their auto exit levels or auto exit dates, and so going to run with both of those here into the weekend here with the challenge. All right, so no changes on the challenge, and no real material market change, here on this final day of August. Now, I was asked a very interesting question, and one that I said I would address on video, and the response is easy, but I just want to make sure I phrase it correctly here. And the question was, hey Jeff, with the market as choppy as it is right now, would you suggest that I continue to trade the challenge trades, or should I wait until the new challenge starts and start with a lower dollar amount? Now, this is a gentleman who's been with us for years, has, traded challenges, has the gains of this challenge. And ultimately, it is his decision to run with and to do, and whatever he feels comfortable with. I never want people to trade something they're not comfortable with, or to do anything they're not comfy with. And bottom line, at any given time, if somebody's not comfortable with the trade, don't trade it, right? Don't trade it. But brings up a valid point as far as some of the choppy, right? Is hey, you know what? Right now it's really choppy. Are we really going to have any gains going into the end of this challenge, or is it going to be the same old chop market? Would it be better just to wait rather than to bleed down on a few things? And it's a very valid point, right? It's a point that is pointless for me personally. Why? Because of this element of, yes, we can see what the market is right now, right? But what is it going to be next week? What is it going to be the week after? What is it going to be after that? And if I go out and I say, well, you know what? I don't like what things are right now, so I'm just going to, slam the brakes and hold on, and I miss the run, well, I've just shot myself in the foot, right? Now I'm sitting here having to always make decisions about, well, what kind of market is it? Do I like the market? What is it? And I'll be honest, if I had to choose markets to be involved with, I would not have had any interest in trading much in the middle of May, right? In the middle of May and the beginning of June. This run looks easy, and we caught this run with a few trades, but most things were coming off their lows. We had seen the market go down, but most days were gap down and rally, and it was a very choppy, time. Right, we managed to get the challenge off to a nice start and to put in some nice gains. Right, it's one of those where for me to go and look and decide, well, the market's going to be this, the market's going to be that. I mean, the market could be up here at 310 on the S&P come the middle of next month. Right, that's a possibility. And if I'm sitting there going, well, I just don't like market conditions, so I'm going to stay out. That defeats the entire purpose, right? For me, for the challenge, and looking at it from a very data and metric driven time period. There are times, and I've showed it before, there are times where, the challenge trades struggle to gain any traction. I mean, when we were running them back here in November, October, November, December, man, it was kind of ugly because we were getting downside signals and then getting whipsawed like crazy, here with them. And it's one of those where, okay, can we tell, okay, it's going to last a little longer or something like that? Sure, sometimes. But sometimes it's just a brief drop and then pop, right? Sometimes it's a brief pop and then drop. Things are always changing. There's a changing dynamic to the market. Yes, the challenge trades are designed to grab trend, and they're looking for high probability trend. But let's face it, this is not an unusual market or unheard of market or something we haven't seen many, many times before. And it's not a market that hasn't been tested over the last 3 years. Sure, if the next 3 weeks we see the market chop around again, I'm not going to expect that we're going to have many challenge gains. That's just not going to be my expectation. The market takes off one way or the other, I sure do expect that we'll have some challenge gains, there with it. But, that does require getting in, before the bigger moves, before the trends, not waiting and going, well, okay, the trend just happened. All right, let's wait for another leg and being caught up in the consolidation. So, bottom line, it's nothing that, I would consider or, that I would consider even implementing for the challenge. But from a personal standpoint, I can't argue with anyone who at any time says, hey, you know what? I don't feel very comfortable about it. I'm going to, step away and I'm going to, come back some other time. That's absolutely, that's understandable. Different different markets, different trades affect people differently, and one of those where the challenge is going to have some really nice runs. Again, we'll probably end this challenge with a decent gain. Would be really nice to push it into the close and to see some more gains into the close of this challenge. But at the same time, if the market's going to oscillate, then that's not going to be a great expectation of mine. If the market's going to trend, well, that is going to be a big expectation of mine. I'd be sorely disappointed if we weren't able to nail that. Okay. All right, so hopefully that answers that that question, and obviously to each their own when it comes down to that. Okay. All righty. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for being with us. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Again, we'll be back here on Thursday. This challenge will continue through the 20th of September. That'll be the last day where new trades are made. Okay. And any trades that are on that day, we'll continue to run them through their completion. But that'll be the last day that trades are made. And then we will kick off the next challenge on the 26th of September. Again, thanks for hopping on. Have yourselves a fantastic one, and we'll talk to you later. Take care.